Hi everybody, today's video is going to be all about globalisation, and to be honest with you, that is going to feel to you just like you're learning about your normal everyday life because you have grown up in a globalised world. So it doesn't feel like anything that should be part of a geography A level because it's just like, well, yeah, that's just life. But the thing is, globalisation has happened particularly since the 1990s. So to older people like myself, we have kind of watched globalisation happen, and therefore it is something to learn about and it is something to be aware of. But it's not difficult at all, and it's all around you, so it's very easy to see. And the point of this video is to sort of introduce it to you and to get you some ideas and get you thinking, really. And then what we will do in lessons is we will do some kind of deeper thinking about these ideas. So this is literally just to get your brain working. There are lots of different definitions of globalisation. My favourite is the one that you are looking at, the increasing interconnectedness of the world. Some people would say the creation of a global village. Some people would say the increasing interconnectedness of the world's economic, social and political systems. Loads of variations. That one will be absolutely fine, but if you find one on the internet that you prefer, or if you know a different one from other subjects or GCSE, that's fine. As long as you can say what globalisation is, that's fine by me. It doesn't have to be the exact one that's on the screen. Anywho, what you're going to do, this PowerPoint will flick through some images and some slides automatically, and I just want you to be thinking about those two things on the screen. Think about what has made it possible. What is it that makes it possible for the countries of the world to be connected together? And try to jot down as much evidence of the fact that the countries of the world are connected together. Hopefully, the idea of this PowerPoint is that it will give you some stimuli, some things to think about, but it is by no means an exhaustive list. There are lots and lots of other things that you could add. Yeah, so this is literally just meant to get you thinking. Anyway, enough talking from me. Let's go through it. I'm not going to say too much, I'll just say odd things to remind you. And obviously, because you're on YouTube, you can pause. So if that went too quickly for you, which I suspect it did, just pause, rewind. That's the beauty of videos, isn't it? All you're thinking about is what makes this interconnectedness possible and what evidence do we have of it? And it is all around you, honestly. In sort of most parts of your day-to-day life, you would be able to find evidence of globalisation. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring these notes along to class, and we can then use them to answer some questions and talk about what we found. You may not know those people. I would recognise a couple of them, but oh yes, and apologies, these are all Leicester players because my husband supports Leicester. If you support a different team, it would apply to your team. You can do your own team. You're looking for foreign players, really, in sporting teams. So it would work for rugby, cricket, like the the international nature of sport would definitely work. So you can just play to your preferences with that. Remember, the whole point of YouTube is that you can pause, you can rewind, you can watch it again. You can work at your own speed. That's kind of the point of this. That one's quite interesting, but you would definitely have to pause. It's all the kind of big companies and who owns them and things. Again, Harry Potter franchise may not be your preference, but I'm sure there's possibly a band or a book or a film that would be evidence of globalisation in some way. I've just kind of picked out ones, not at random, I guess ones I'm aware of. Okay, so we're pretty much at the end. So what I'm going to do, you can rewatch that as many times as you want to. I'm just going to pause on the ones with hyperlinks. So this was about the Leicester City team. Like I said at this point, you can, by all means, focus this on your own sport. So this link is about all of the nationalities that are represented in the Premier League. This one is about the current Leicester City squad and where they are from. You don't have to do Leicester City, but it hopefully will get you thinking about the international nature of sport. This one, we will look at these hyperlinks in class together, but if you're watching this for revision or you're not a student that I teach, then if you literally just Google Multicultural London English, MLE, it's a new dialect that has been created by globalisation in London. So it's quite interesting, particularly for those of you who study sort of English and sociology and things like that. We have the creation of a whole new dialect that is very much linked to globalisation. Okay, so MLE, Multicultural London English, but we will watch that in class. These two hyperlinks, one of them is an alternative explanation of globalisation, so I'll show you that. What is globalisation? Geography in a minute or two on a channel called The Curious Geographer. Okay, so you can search for that one. And this one is just, again, to get you thinking.
You've been waiting in line for hours.
So this is the cost of globalisation. The idea that it's maybe not all brilliant and positive that we would think it is. So it's from Humber Edu, Humber Edu. All right. Watch that as many times as you need, but let me remind you of the instruction. You are trying to think about what has made globalisation possible and what evidence of it do you have around you. Jot down some ideas, bring along some notes to class, and good luck.